Zip code 80521 remains a foundational residential area within Fort Collins. It consistently matters to realtors because it combines legacy neighborhoods with proximity to the city core. This zip code reflects long-term housing stability tied to Fort Collins' employment base and established infrastructure. That stability continues to anchor buyer and seller confidence. For realtors, zip code 80521 represents repeat activity from owner-occupants rather than speculative turnover. That creates predictable market behavior. Zip code 80521 covers northwest Fort Collins and extends toward the foothills. It sits west of US Highway 287 and north of downtown. This area connects directly to Old Town Fort Collins, Colorado State University, and Foothills Open Space. These adjacencies shape both demand and pricing behavior. On a Fort Collins home value map, this zip code typically tracks close to the city median. It does not exhibit extreme premium or discount behavior. Home values in zip code 80521 rose sharply during the 2020 to 2022 cycle. That growth followed broader northern Colorado trends. After the 2022 peak, prices flattened rather than reversed. This indicates market cooling without broad value erosion. The current median home value remains well above pre-2020 levels. Long-term appreciation still defines this zip code. Recent year-over-year pricing shows modest movement rather than acceleration. This signals normalization rather than contraction. Homes in zip code 80521 now spend more time on market compared to peak years. This shift reflects buyer selectivity. Price reductions occur more frequently than during the peak cycle. However, they remain tactical rather than systemic. Active inventory has increased from historic lows. Supply growth has reduced urgency without overwhelming demand. Together, pricing, days on market, and inventory suggest balanced leverage. Neither buyers nor sellers dominate consistently. State and regional forecasts point to slow growth rather than decline. These signals depend heavily on interest rate conditions. No forward indicator implies certainty. Instead, the data suggests continued stabilization. Affordability remains constrained due to home prices and financing costs. Monthly ownership costs remain elevated relative to incomes. If this kind of zip code level breakdown is useful, subscribing helps you keep track of local market shifts without relying on broad headlines. Following along means you get consistent context as conditions change, so each update builds on what you already understand about your market. Rental trend data exists but shows limited divergence from city averages. This zip code functions primarily as an owner-occupied market. Buyers encounter more time for due diligence than in prior cycles. Negotiation dynamics are more structured. Sellers benefit from realistic pricing aligned with recent comparable sales. Overpricing extends market time. Realtors operate in a data-driven environment where pricing strategy and expectations